But I can also imagine that for a musician like yourself, for the creative process, sometimes it can also be good to stay at one place maybe for a bit longer.
You're so right. Are you a musician too?
Yeah, a little bit.
Of course. No, you're so right. Being on the road, really for me, I don't know about everyone, but I find it very difficult to be creative when I'm on the road because, you know, you're playing the shows at night. That's the creative part of being on the road. But besides that, it's all business. It's like promotion, travel, you know, another hotel, another motel, another, you know, this, that and the other, get to the venue, do the sound check. It's just like a continuous dream of, you know, just one place to the next. So that for me is hard. You know, you have to find a balance between touring and especially, but the touring as an independent musician, the touring is the thing that helps build you. You know, people see you and then you're away for a while and then you come back and the shows build up, and so you kind of got to find a balance, and that's been the biggest struggle for me all the time.
Finding the balance.
Finding that balance. As I said, the next couple of months is in this one place because I'm doing a lot of writing. I've signed here in Holland with Sony Publishing, which has been fantastic. They've been amazing. They've taken a lot of work out of my hands, which has been really nice. For the first time, I'm not doing all the bookings, I'm not doing all the publicity and the radio. I'm just, you got to be here at this time, and then the rest of the time you can write. So my next couple of months is writing, and I'm finding a lot of inspiration, and I'm writing with a lot of different people in different places, and that'll all be for the new album. So I'm promoting one album now.
Already we're working on the...
But I mean, all musicians are. So it's just the songwriting process. So now it's the songwriting phase, and then as you know, like, you know, you produce these songs, but I am writing a lot right now, and so I'm really thankful for the time to be sort of in one place and have that, because you're very right. It's hard to find that on the road, and if you're not writing songs and you're a songwriter, that can get a little, you know, difficult. So yeah, it's finding a balance, and right now I'm really happy because I'm writing heaps of songs, so it's great. Promoting the album and writing lots of songs.
Oh, that's good to hear. Yeah, I want to go a little bit back in time. The first weeks in Perth, in Melbourne.
Yes.
What were they like?
It was a bit of a shock for the system because it wasn't just like, you know, moving across. It was also like, this was my first time out of home. So, you know, like, I'm sure everyone remembers when they first moved out of home and they didn't have their mum cooking and cleaning and making food and everything, and I was a bit lost at first, and also I didn't know anyone, so that was a bit scary. Like, it was out of my comfort zone, and I personally think that anything out of your comfort zone is good for you as a person. It's good for your growth and your confidence. But for sure, the first couple of weeks, it was a bit of, you know, a few tears and, oh my God, what am I doing? And is this the right thing? And I miss my home and I miss my family. But then I'm quite an independent person. So I was like, okay, think about it. What are we going to do? And so the first couple of weeks, was hard. But then after that, I started being like, you know, business mode. And I was like, what do I have to do? I started going around to venues, booking shows, going to heaps of gigs, to meet other musicians, to network, to start building something. So yeah, it was tough, but I think that all of my experiences kind of led me to where I am now. So
what caused that switch? Like, well, I'm here, so...
That's just my personality. I think I'm like a type A personality, like must achieve. Like before I left home, I was studying medicine. When I was 19 and just at university, and I've always been like a really get down to work kind of person, not like, so at first I was a bit like, oh boo-hoo, I'm not going to get signed in the first week of arriving, and then I was kind of like, okay, so then if that's not going to happen, what do I need to do? And I just start learning and doing. Learning by doing, I think. I never actually even went to music school or learned how to play or write or sing. And, you know, people ask me about that and I'm like, it's just because I've played 1,000 gigs, you know. Learning by doing is, for me, the best thing.
Can you remember the first gig in Melbourne that you played?
The first gig in Melbourne I played was a open mic night, which a lot of my first gigs in Melbourne were that. And that's kind of where it the open mic night, and then the venue would hear me play the open mic night and they'd offer me a spot, you know, to play another gig, and then it would be a paid gig, and, you know, all kind of built from there. But it was an open mic night, and it was kind of like a musician networking thing. So you just got up and played a few songs, and I'm sure the songs I sang were terrible. I can't remember what they were, but for sure I remember some of the first songs I ever wrote, and I like to think that my songwriting has improved. But yeah, I do remember where it was. I don't remember the name of it. I just can kind of recall this like red light and, you know, playing. And they're great, these networking things, because there are other musicians. So there are always people who are, you know,